different nachos.
Hello, you're listening and or watching the Nerd Edification Hour. I'm Caleb.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Jeremy.
And in today's show, we're going to talk about, well, we have one thing for movie and entertainment, comic book news, all that stuff, which is not really comic book news, but that's the category it falls under.
Yeah.
I'm just going to, when we get to that point, I'm just going to read this lovely book while she goes off on this.
Talk about Overwatch.
Yeah. And then we have Nintendo, a little bit of
Nintendo news. And then we have a special Final Fantasy 15 segment because there was a splurge of...
Yeah.
They opened the floodgates.
Right. There's a whole live stream about
Rachel
it.
was,
there's a really campy event.
Rachel was
really
on the
campy.
floor foaming at the mouth
Probably.
after watching it.
You could probably hear me screaming from all the way across town. But no, I gathered
I'm
up
sure
all
they
the
could
news.
hear you screaming somehow.
Probably. Yeah, no, I gathered up all the news for all of us, and we'll discuss and see what y'all think about what was released.
What article?
Yeah. The first page is the overview, and the rest is just details that may be of interest to y'all. So, in any case, then we have Nerd Vocab.
Yep. And then we'll have some video game news. It wasn't too terribly much, good little bit of it. And then, of course, we'll have your technology, net, all that good stuff news lastly. So let's go ahead and get this ball rolling because I feel like it's going to be a while before we get out of here.
No.
You say that.
No.
You say that.
No.
Well,
So-
after about 20, 30 minutes, me and you can leave. She's got the rest of the 2 hours.
Yeah,
And we're
no.
good. We'll go get lunch.
No.
Sushi on me.
All right, so who here is excited for Overwatch?
I'm not really sure what it
It
is.
might be interesting. They took out the interesting pose, though.
Oh.
Dude, I swear that was all that was in my internet feed this week. That was all I saw. I'm just
That
like,
was still such kind of a weird choice.
Well,
I
what
cannot
it
look at
was,
Tracer's
okay.
butt anymore. I've seen it.
Okay,
In my
to
news feed.
explain to
Well, the funny
our-
thing is, it's all of GameStop's advertisements, too.
Yes.
All over the store. I mean, that's their whole thing.
To explain to our listeners and viewers what was going on if you don't know already.
Just very quickly.
Basically, it was this pose by this certain character that was an over-the-shoulder look, and all that really it was butt. There was a lot of butt going on, not like bare butt, but butt. So, and I guess someone's mom somewhere along the lines was like, I don't like that.
I don't like
I don't like that.
My child
So-
grew up with Tracer. What do you mean grew up with Tracer? Overwatch hasn't even been out yet.
Yeah,
It's a
so
grown
I
up.
guess the folks at who made Overwatch were like, yeah,
Blizzard.
all right,
This Blizzard.
all right, okay.
Blizzard even said that they weren't really too excited for that pose. But all right, enough of that. Speaking of Overwatch, though, the next Overwatch animated short will debut next week. Blizzard released the first Overwatch animated short earlier this month, which was very nice. It was, Winston. Everybody likes Winston. We found out he's made of 99% bananas and peanut butter. If you
That's
watched
awesome.
I
it,
haven't watched it yet.
you should.
I need to watch
You
this.
should.
I haven't had the biggest interest in Overwatch. It just seems like another one of those like free-to-play online shooter type things.
It's
I'm
not
like,
free to play. You buy it once and that's it.
Oh, okay.
It's a full.
It
$6
kind of feels like it's getting
release, and then that's
saturated
it.
with games like that. So I've just kind of like okay, I'm taking a break from it.
Just look at it.
I will.
And you okay?
So tell
won't
us
be
a little bit about
All right. It was
this is the review on the last
Right.
one, right?
Yeah.
So basically, this next one will debut on April 3rd, and it will kind of go over Widowmaker's kind of story, which is interesting because we don't really know a lot about what did they say, the bad guys. So far we know that Widowmaker and Reaper, it's got the dual shotguns, that they're kind of the bad guys in a way, even though they're not really bad guys because they're mercenaries. So it'd be interesting to see their side of the story, and so that's what this is going to happen on April 3rd, to see Widowmaker's kind
Should
of
be
view of the
interesting.
story. Yeah, I'm actually excited for it.
Something to say though, the character Widowmaker, that she's not part of Talon willingly. That's something to note here that I've read. That
Talon's
it's
the
very-
bad group.
Yeah, it's a bad guy outfit. So this fact that she's not part of this group voluntarily, she did not do this on her own. If this fact is going to play well into the central role of this video. So, yay! It's going to be interesting. I don't know, the animation looks cool. So
Yeah, Blizzard can make some videos. I'll give them that.
Yeah, you should definitely go check out
All those
when,
World of Warcraft starting
what was
videos.
it called?
Yeah.
It was
I'll look it up. I'll look it up. It's probably easy to find. It's
Yeah,
whatever.
just
We don't need
Overwatch,
to know
Overwatch
right now.
shorts. It'll be
I'm gonna
there.
look it up because I can't
Nah.
remember what it is.
Need to be.
No, we don't have the time.
Because
for
then
you
we'll
to
start
look.
Miitomo, and then we'll never
Yeah,
stop.
Because you're
We'll
about to
never
talk about Final Fantasy 15. I have plenty of time.
Okay,
Go ahead.
well-
no, Nintendo. Excuse me.
Nintendo
Go ahead,
is
Nintendo.
next. So-
Jeremy, you're
Now-
about to talk about Nintendo. So go
Right.
ahead.
So
Gotcha.
now we're going to transition to the Nintendo news. As some of you might know, Nintendo did some stuff this week. Some pretty exciting stuff that all of us are into right now.
Yeah, and some fairly messed up stuff too.
Well,
We'll cover a little bit. So finally, Miitomo did release. They managed to keep their date as late as humanly possible because it was like.
but they didn't not release it.
Yeah, it was
so-
like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning whenever the My Nintendo page finally launched, which is their replacement for Club Nintendo, and it's also starting to kind of replace part of their online services. And then it was another couple hours later before Miitomo finally showed up on the store. You had to go search for a whole mess to get that, but that game is like not really a game. It's more of a social media thing. Like someone called it, Twitter that talks.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it is.
It's surprisingly fun. Like,
It's addictive.
yeah.
And just
I'm hoping they add
weird.
more mini games in there at some point.
There's never going to be that many games. It's mostly
Well-
just the interaction of the people in your friends
Well,
list.
I know that, but I
Yeah.
hope that there's going to be mini games that you can do with your friends. That's what I want. I want something like that.
They said it's just going to be kind of your stuff. Like they'll have a couple other games, like instead of just the drop one, different ones of those and so forth. But it's more the interaction's just going to be the chat part. They've got games coming out later that are separate, but this is just going to be.
Yeah, I know that.
That's social
But
media.
I think that there could be more interaction between people socially if they
That's
had
what the games
something.
are for.
Yeah.
This is a different thing. That's what
See,
they're doing.
last night when I signed on for it,
Took you long enough.
Jeremy's me came in my room twice, and I said bye twice. He just kind of left. I'm like, I didn't mean bye. I just meant I have other stuff I got to do. But he just left, and then he came back. I was like, huh? I felt like he was trying to get.
I will go into the
I'll
room.
just kick that door in and be like, no!
I will
Apparently.
go into the room and I won't even be there, but a friend will be in my room, and I'll be
Yeah,
like,
they can do that, yeah.
And I'm just like, I'll
You
look
will
at it,
hear me talk about peanut butter.
and I'll sit there and I'll be like, Jake, what the heck are you doing in my room? Where am I? Oh, I'm over at Mimi's house. Okay.
It's-
I don't know how you got in, or
So,
maybe
it's
you were here when I was already here and I just left you.
Yeah, that's a later DLC. It's called door locks. You have to pay for those. Right now, you're just kind of open to the world.
So
It's fun though. I like it.
So real quick, the Winston short's called Recall. That's
Okay.
what it's called. And then the Black Widow
Is alive.
short
Yeah.
is Alive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds
That's
good. But,
All right, cool.
In
See?
addition to Miitomo, they announced My Nintendo.
Right, that launched first. Was coming with it, which was the replacement for Club Nintendo,
Right.
where you can kind of build up coins or points while playing like Miitomo and some of the other games that are coming out, or buying digital content. The thing that has me concerned is there's no mention whatsoever that they're going to be doing any kind of rewards for people buying the physical games.
It may
So-
come down the line, maybe.
I hope so, but I'm kind of concerned that it kind of lends precedence to a lot of people thinking that NX might be digital only.
Well, it better have a really big hard drive because
If it goes digital
really-
only, though, I can't. I've had so many problems with digital. Just like even with my 3DS, I had a glitch not too long ago. All of my digital content had to restart. I had to go back, re-download stuff, and do all these things. And I was like, great. So I lost all of that.
Yeah. Last night when I was actually downloading, not a Nintendo game, when I was downloading the Lego Avengers thing, because I thought it would be something fun to play while I'm waiting for all my other stuff to come out. And so I downloaded that, and then it downloads. It says only 3 gigs, and I was like, wait a minute. On the store it said 13, because I got the special one that has all the bells
Right.
and whistles. And I was like, okay. So I load it up. It loads fine, and I play the first mission. And then it says, game installation not finished at 80% in the game. I'm done with that level, but it tells me it's at
Yeah.
80%. And I'm just like, but wait, it said it was, what it did is it downloaded the very necessary files for the game to just run and the first level, which was about 3 gigs. And so then I go, well, where do I know? And so then what I have to do is I have to select the game, I have to hit the select button, and then I have to hit like options or properties, and then see how much more I have to go. And I was like, Lego, what the heck? So that was a really weird digital thing that I was kind of confused about. But
Hooray for the digital age,
That
where
was
everything
weird.
will be digital, and then our minds will be digital, and then we'll
But
get hacked. And then
I'm excited to
Oh, I'm
see
sorry.
where they go, seeing what now what Nintendo is capable on mobile devices makes me feel slightly better about other things. And Pokemon Go looks great so far.
Yeah, but they've got money in that, but that's a different developer doing
Yeah.
it. My concern is I don't want them to start focusing more on cell phones because, yeah, that's fun to mess around with, but I do not like games on mobile phones.
Yeah.
The battery, you
it
use
sucks
this
your
thing for
battery,
communication, it
takes your
kills your battery.
memory.
Yeah, it leads to a whole bunch of issues.
Not
And
to
they,
mention your data plans.
they tend to also be nickel and diming you. Like, Mitomo's already trying to get me to spend money to do stuff, and I'm like, no.
I have
Really?
never been asked.
You can go in and actually buy stuff on the store, or the little candies if you want to keep talking to people. You either earn those in the games or you pay for those, and then you can go in there.
It hasn't even prompted me yet. Probably because I've already got a lot of candy from all the game tickets I got.
Yeah, there's some of those, but they're kind of going towards that, and I'm just kind of concerned about them doing the nickel and dime thing.
I've played it for the past like a day and a half.
Well, yeah, it's only been out that long.
Non-stop, and it has not prompted me once to purchase anything.
Yeah, it's not going to go nuts about it. I'm just saying I'm worried it's a slippery slope of them doing that.
Oh, yeah.
When they start going in that route. A lot of companies that did it kind of started getting worse as they
I don't
went.
even know where to find it on there for that option. So
My
yeah.
other thing is
That's a good bad design?
the thing about I don't know how easy you guys found friends, but like Bryce, I was trying to make friends with Bryce, but I couldn't click on his thing. So I had to go some kind of roundabout way to do that. And I thought that was kind of weird.
I didn't have any problems. I linked my Twitter and I linked my Facebook and I update them every now and then.
Twitter won't show up and let you friend somebody unless they follow you.
Unless they follow you. So
There's a few people like I followed that I could talk to, but I can't friend them until it's swapped around. Like James Milkey used to work for oneup.com. But then other ones like
Facebook's been
Pierre
pretty-
Schneider from IGN, I got him on there because we talked to each other, and that was kind of funny. Facebook worked really well. That's how I got a couple of you guys on there that popped up all of a sudden. So
So
I don't know,
I'm
that's a
still
nice
waiting.
I'll have
start.
to go in and update mine. Apparently,
You have to
people
just keep
updated.
updating the data because what it'll do is it'll pull people from your friend. Now, if they have not connected their Mitomo account to their Twitter
Yeah.
or their Facebook, you can't find them at all. So I have a feeling that
you can if they have their Nintendo. If it's hooked up to at least one of the three, either Facebook, Twitter, or their Nintendo ID.
Yeah, you can
Because I've got
find
a few
them.
friends off that as well.
Yeah, you can. I haven't gotten anybody off my Nintendo ID thing. I don't even know how to do that.
They just show up. I got a few of them on there pretty quick.
Yeah, I haven't yet. I guess.
Oh, also, fun warning: it's completely unedited.
Yep. Oh, actually, they have a little 3 dots next to comments and stuff now and answers and stuff that you can actually report people.
Well, I don't want to report them. I just have
Yeah.
friends that like having a potty mouth.
Oh well, yeah, but
Josh
but,
Everett, not to name names.
but I'm just letting you know that's
Yeah,
not-
I saw that on there.
I when that popped up, I was like, oh.
Yeah, I'm hoping people will start abusing that. They like to do that.
They might.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Okay, so
Did
Time
we just
for
want to
the
not
big
talk
one.
about the
Okay.
Allison Wrap thing at all?
I guess we.
Or do you
should
want to just
probably-
drop that one for now? Because more stuff came out about it, but
we probably should mention it, just because she's kind of a media person. We're kind of media people.
yeah, there's kind of back and forth in this. Because now, mind you, the whole story on this thing, we're never going to get all of it because you've got
No, because it's constantly developing.
there's developing, but there's also privacy between the employee and the people. So people are getting mad about Nintendo about it, but they're legally not allowed to say everything. And then Allison Rapp, which was the representative that used to be, she didn't really work in localization. She worked in marketing with part of the localization. But
in
people,
Treehouse.
Yeah.
Long story short, this woman had to do with a bunch of Gamergate crap.
a bunch of bull.
A bunch of bull. And so basically these people, terrible people, got a hold of a lot of her, wish list items, personal stuff, digging up stuff just to get her fired.
Yeah,
And
because they believe
started-
she was responsible for some of the localization for Fire Emblem. Of course, if anything changes at all, people threw a fit about it, even if it was something that is normally kind of uncomfortable to have, at least in the United States. Like, some of it was, in Japan it was okay for certain things. It's a different culture for they have, so there may be younger individuals that are more of a sexualized theme on them.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it was coming to the U.S., they were like, okay, that's not going to really fly over here, so we're going to kind of tone some of that back. Like the touching minigame and all
the
that.
padding.
Yeah, the padding
No
and all
pads.
that. Yeah,
Well,
but
a
when
lot of
she
that.
slaps
A
you,
lot
I'm
of
not
that.
going to
I know.
say
I was about.
It'd be
to-
great for
yeah.
TV.
A lot
That's
of
what Tom
that,
always
though,
says.
to having. Well, I mean, you have experience with kids because you have children. Some of that will go over their heads.
3.
Some of it. Some of it will go over their heads. Not all of it, but some of it. So it's completely over their heads. A lot of it will. But
Yeah, but
and
some
then,
of
I
it's
mean,
just...
She even made a kind of a sassy comment on Twitter about it. About
Yeah, she
this.
didn't help herself sometimes
oh, no,
either.
she didn't. She was like, "Hey, I mean, I wanted the slider on Xenoblade.
Which, I mean, I've got...
Yeah.
Everyone
Well,
else in
I've actually, I've heard, well, no,
I've
I've heard legitimate arguments for why that should be.
Yeah.
I've got friends that were, when they were making their characters,
Yeah.
they themselves are
Yeah.
in that way, and they're like, they wanted to have that option.
Exactly.
But you've got the other side of it. People use it for not so nice means, and it just it
Exactly.
gets kind
Yeah.
of crazy.
Yeah, so I would have understand maybe default ones that you could choose to
And that's-
change them to
yeah.
instead of the slider. That would have been my suggestion personally. But
Either way you would have went, you would have had both arguments still
yes,
going
you would.
on. That's
exactly.
the thing. Any
But
adjustability.
regardless, she got terminated.
Yeah,
and
she
it
got-
was mainly for the company's own safety. I feel more so than anything that she did.
Well, the part of it was that she got fired, and she announced it on Twitter. Immediately was talking about it and so forth. And
That
she,
probably didn't help her.
Well, some of the statements she made kind of drummed up some stuff. I mean, she made it look like she was just completely vilified on that, and everyone was like, wow,
Yeah.
even I got kind of up in arms about it. And Nintendo hadn't said anything.
Yeah. Well, they
'Cause-
can't really.
Well, after a while, they did a statement with IGN with Jose Otero, and laid out exactly kind of what had happened for part of it. That she had been moonlighting on another job, and it was against one of their policies, and that it had nothing to do with this other situation. They were aware of it, but they didn't do it. And of course, you've got conspiracy theorists going, "Oh no, that's not what it is. It's this is why they did
I'm
it."
wondering what policy that they have prevents people from doing extra jobs.
It's certain types of extra jobs, like she was doing modeling with some risque stuff and things like that. She was
Would
like,
be none of their
That's,
business. So
That's
But she's a public face
Yeah.
for it and stuff. So I mean, it kind of
Right.
goes back and forth with how they're doing it. But I mean, we're not going to know the entire details either way of it,
Right.
because she won't say everything. They can't say everything.
like I said, arguments can be made on both sides. It's a terrible situation that
Yeah,
I feel
no one
was-
can win.
Yeah, that it's not. It's nothing. I feel that it should have been done maybe a little differently.
Yeah, when did we last talk about this? I know this is an update from a story we did.
It
Last time?
was
Yeah.
a long time
It was a
back.
long
The
time
only
ago,
the only
but-
last thing I want to add to it that people brought the argument, and I just kind of want to get y'all's opinion on this. A lot of people are saying like, okay, they found out that she'd gotten fired. Why she'd gotten fired? And they were like, oh, okay, so it wasn't for all the stuff they thought it was.
Yes, but that probably didn't help her at all.
Well, no,
they
it
said.
didn't. I guarantee it didn't. But I
And
mean,
that-
you've got a back and
them-
forth and that protect
and them
themselves.
sending that might have gave Nintendo a reason to further look into that. So there's probably a lot of other stuff.
Yeah, and that's what they were saying. They shouldn't have investigated. But I mean, if you're
Yeah.
being told this stuff, you have to look into it.
Exactly.
Now, the argument a lot of people have that they're still blaming, because there was a couple of indie developers that canceled their games with Nintendo. One of them backed down on it and tried to delete his tweets and say it never happened, and then the other ones are sticking with it. They're saying that when she was being harassed, that Nintendo they didn't go and defend her. And I was trying to figure
Yeah.
out what could they have done, because, and I mean, I'm not one side or the other. I'm just curious, what could they have actually done to do that? Because at worst, they could just denounce it or something, but they can't stop it because there's people in law enforcement that can't even stop this stuff.
Exactly. And the least they could have done is issue a statement saying she was not in charge of this, and this. I mean, that's,
Which they did. They
Yeah.
did say she was not part of that, but I don't know at what point are their responsibility for doing that when she's putting herself out there.
If she's pertinent to development, if she's pertinent to the team, if she's really important and they really want to keep her and they really feel that she's necessary, they would have done more. But
I'm saying, like, also the fact that she's making these comments and putting herself out there as
Yeah,
well.
so-
At what point is the company
Exactly.
responsible for what she does?
Exactly.
And that's there's no right or wrong in this one.
No,
No one
there
really
isn't.
knows. So I just wanted to cover it.
Yeah.
All right.
So here
We
it
got
finally is. So after 10 years of waiting, basically this Final Fantasy 15 finally has a release date. I predicted this release date as end of September about 3 months ago. If y'all remember.
Yeah. How old were you when this was announced?
I don't know. It was 2006. I was in middle school.
Wow.
I think it was my 8th grade year.
I was almost 30.
So
was
after
26.
plenty of leaks and rumors, it's confirmed the Final Fantasy 15 is going to be released on PS4 and Xbox One on September 30th of this year.
And apparently also your Blu-ray player, your soundtrack, your shelf, and
we'll get into that. There's more. We'll get into that, but and not PC. They don't know whether Tabata, the head of the game's development, said, "We have acknowledged the PC problem. We know that people want it. After it's released on PS4 and Xbox One, we'll look into it." He's not confirming nor denying. He understands.
We'll probably get on mobile before we get...
Yeah.
But he goes, look how long it took for them to put the 13 games on PC. So, if that's any indication, if they do get it, it won't be for a while. But, like I said, it was originally announced at E3 2006 as Versus 13. Then it was rebranded in 2013 as Final Fantasy 15. So they released trailers, which is... the trailer Reclaim Your Throne includes a Florence and the Machine cover of Stand By Me.
Kind of weird.
It's
weird
so
choice.
weird, which is actually the game's theme song. Now,
which is really weird.
Really weird, but when I sat back and I really thought about it, and I thought about why they did that, is
tried not to.
Well, Florence is a pretty unique artist for what they've done in the past. Eyes on Me, that sort of different stuff. She's unique in the same vein that those artists were and are. And so when the game itself, the song itself, excuse me, is not going to be present in the game. It's going to be present, but it's not going to be in the way that you think it is. It's not going to play on the radio. There's going to be a specific point that it plays.
Right.
Like Eyes on Me did and all that kind of stuff from Final Fantasy VIII. So that sort of thing. So I thought that was really cool, but when I sat and thought about it, I thought, this song is kind of the placement and what it says, and if you listen to it, and considering how long the game has took, it's almost like a love letter to the fans. Thanks for standing by and waiting. So that's kind of nice.
Well, when you put it that way.
But
a lot of that
adorable.
Presentation felt like we need to cram as much in here so it doesn't look like we've been sitting around for the last 10 years. Quick, make it look like we've done everything.
But no, here's the thing. They did do a lot of stuff, and we're preparing a lot of stuff. I mean, out of nowhere, an anime that goes with it, which is Brotherhood Final Fantasy 15, which is a 6 episode.
Yeah, I decided not to watch it when I found out it comes with the collector's edition. I'm just going to wait and watch the Blu-ray when it comes out.
I decided to watch the first episode just because.
So movie night, I guess, at either Jeremy or Rachel's place. I guess I'll bring some popcorn.
Yeah. And so there is an anime that accompanies it. It's going to be based before the game that kind of chronicles the characters' histories and whatnot. It'll be useful for you to watch before you get the game, so you kind of get a basic idea of the characters and whatnot.
So even more stuff to do.
Well, here's the thing. It's giving you stuff to do until September 30th.
Well, you think about all the stuff they did for Final Fantasy VII over that 10-year period, all these things, the movies and all that stuff they crammed. They're just like, you know what, let's just get it all out at once. Let's just, here's the next 10 years worth of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So, in addition, the first episode for that anime, though, if you do want to watch it, it's free. All of them are going to be free, actually, to watch on YouTube, but they're going to be probably taken down after a time. So watch that. It's available on the official Final Fantasy 15 YouTube. It's actually really high quality. I liked it. It was good. It's
coming 4K, though.
Good Lord. And in addition, you can go on your PlayStation Store or your Xbox One right now and download the free Platinum demo, which kind of gives you a basic idea of the new control screen.
Straight up felt like a weird Kingdom Hearts.
Well, that's
seriously. While I was playing it, sadly you can't hear what I said because none of you went and watched when I streamed it, and the audio was completely borked.
That or I was sleeping.
Know. Well, I didn't know the audio output was messed up. It sounded fine for me, so I'm just sitting there. You see me playing and just going with all with all these weird noises.
If you played Episode Disguise, which is the first demo that came with Type 0, and you look at and you play the Platinum demo, the differences between the two are pretty vast. It goes from a kind of weird conceptual battle system to a really streamlined one. With really ease of weapon switching that you just apply to the D-pad.
Yeah.
And which is really, really good.
Well, they were saying that first demo was taken directly out of the game. This is not. This is kind of like how they did with Bravely Default. It's got a separate story.
Right. It's an entirely separate story that when you complete it, after you complete it, you actually get exclusive access to Carbuncle, which is a he's going to be a summon.
Overly adorable.
He's overly adorable. He's really cute.
I named
Oh,
mine
is that the
Kiki
little
after
I
the
named
cat.
mine Carbuncle. So
Okay.
yeah.
Is that the little
Um,
thing with the
yes.
ears and the tail?
Yes, it's
Okay.
very cute.
I guarantee at some point within the next year we'll probably be sitting here.
Now,
One of us will do it.
on top of the anime and on top of the demo, there's also a full-length CGI feature film that is focusing on King Regis, who's Noctis' father. The movie's called Kingsglaive, and it's going to be releasing in summer. It features the talents of Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones actors such as Aaron Paul, Sean Bean, and Lena Hadley. Lena's voicing Ludifreya. Aaron is voicing Nyx, and Sean Bean's voicing the King. Which we all know when Sean Bean's involved, we already know who's gonna die. So,
Spoilers for you.
yeah. So.
He always dies.
He always
Think about it.
dies.
He died in James
Okay,
Bond.
now-
He died in Game of Thrones.
Now, here's a couple of kind of interesting facts, though, about this. The people that are voicing the characters in the movie are not the people voicing the characters in the game.
For shame.
Which is weird.
Which is weird. The character Nyx, who is voiced by Aaron Paul, is not in the game at all.
Yeah,
I don't
DLC.
know. I don't
DLC,
know.
here we
Well,
go.
does this movie take place before,
It
during, or
takes
after?
place kind of.
Because it
during-
sounds like it's during.
It's kind of during. It has some before, and then it's mainly during. It has to do with filling plot holes, I think, mainly. But I don't know.
I'm
I
calling
don't
it.
know.
He'll be dead before he gets out of the cast.
So yeah, he's not going to appear in the main game, and they wanted to specifically note that Kingsglaive is nothing like Advent Children. This it has people on the same team that have designed it and do all this kind of stuff. Advent Children was meant to give more stories from the Seven universe.
I just keep
Basically-
thinking of the awkward quotes from that movie.
Oh yes, my favorite quotes. Oh, I love
What was the weird quote one girl was saying? She's trying to cheer up Cloud. Like she started rambling off, which sounded like gibberish, and I'm like, what is this?
I think I could go for days on what my favorite stuff is from Advent Children, but
Yeah,
I'm not
anyways.
going to go on it. But the intended audience for Kingsglaive isn't just the players. They've got these big name actors that general people are familiar with in order to get them into the movie and into the game and kind of give them a basic idea. It's like an introduction. Almost. Sole purpose of Kingsglaive is to get more people to know about the universe of Final Fantasy 15, which now is not only a game, but also a movie, and an anime, and a mobile game.
Well, I was gonna see. I don't
And
know if you had it in here.
Manga.
Did you talk
And
about
then-
how much this is going to cost them? Because that actually did get
Action
brought up
figures.
when they did an interview. They're going to have to break even. They're talking about having to have like 10 million sales.
Oh, that'll be fine. Did you calculate how much money they got for the 30,000
Collector's editions.
Ultimate Collector's Editions?
That's still a
30
lot. They're talking about including those. They have to
Yeah, it
have
looks
10
like some
million in
people
sales
paid,
because they're banking on this. Like, and
Yes, some people paid like $270
Okay, yeah,
for
and-
episode 1 of Final Fantasy 15.
No, we're getting to this.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me talk about kind of briefly about the mobile game. The mobile game is where's the name of it?
Pinball.
Justice. Yes, it's a pinball thing. It's free to play.
Episode 1.
Caleb, I will hit you in the jaw right now. Basically, it's called Justice Monsters 5. It's a mobile pinball game. It has Noctis and some other characters. It comes out on iOS, Android, and Windows 10 sometime this summer. You could pre-register now on something called prelaunch.me. The link to pre-register is on the official Final Fantasy 15 website. It doesn't cost
Chapter 0.
It doesn't cost anything to. It does not cost anything to pre-register.
Yeah.
You pre-register, and by pre-registering, you get a bunch of rewards. I don't know what those rewards are. This is
Episode
gonna sound.
2. Half off.
Why are you guys doing this?
Rachel will remember that.
I am gonna remember this, and then when I become rich and famous, I'm not mentioning you at all.
What?
So nope.
Hey.
Nope. You dug
Hey.
yourself in a hole.
Hey.
You dug yourself in a hole.
Hey.
You'll be fine.
Sorry.
April Fools.
No, dug yourself in a hole. So that's what you could do there.
Yeah.
There's 3 editions of the game that you can get. You can get the standard edition, which when you pre-order will probably include some DLC or something like normal.
For you commoners.
Yeah. And then the deluxe edition is $90. And if you do want to order it, though, I recommend doing it on Amazon because
I think it's gone everywhere else already.
you get Prime discount. No, deluxe edition is fine. They don't have a cap on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You can actually order it now at GameStop if you want, and it's a minimum of 25 down.
Yep.
You like I said, but you can do it on Amazon and get it for like 70 something because Prime and free shipping. Yay.
Now, what did we get?
But let me tell you what's in the deluxe edition though. It comes with a bonus outfit, a weapon, and a recolor of the car, the Regalia. So that's really cool. And it's actually you're going to be driving the car the entire game. So
Let's say we didn't even mention that for the movie part, the Audi R8.
Yeah,
with the one production model
that's probably going to be a show model that only Tabata drives around to conventions. There we go. That's what it's going to be. But the weapon in there is Masamune. Fun fact. It's Masamune. It's Sephiroth's sword. Kind of.
They always have to bring in 7. Can they just leave that out
No,
one time?
never.
It's their baby,
Never.
okay?
That's the
But,
one thing I don't like.
Okay, so then there's also the Ultimate Collector's Edition.
Yeah.
Only 30,000 units available worldwide.
And I'm pretty sure they're all gone.
Jeremy
yeah.
and I got 2 of them.
You got it on PS4. I got it on Xbox One.
I don't know how we did it, but we did.
Credit card.
PS4.
These guys stayed up all night until midnight last night. And
That's
they,
nothing new
nights
for me.
ago.
two nights ago.
Yeah. But here's the thing: the PS4 one sold out in about 8 minutes. That quickly because PlayStation is Final Fantasy OG, I suppose.
Technically Nintendo is, but whatever.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
But 3D Final Fantasy OG. How about that? Okay.
Oh, specific.
And
If
then
you count Mode 7. Super Nintendo then.
And then the Xbox one sold out at about maybe 20-30 minutes, I'd say.
Yeah, I barely made it.
Yeah,
Barely.
no one wanted that one, but they did. But so
Apparently you're no one, Jeremy.
so you get pretty much everything that's included with the deluxe edition. You also get a hardcover art book, which looks really nice from what I've seen from the
I like
scans.
art books.
You get the soundtrack, but not just the soundtrack from the game, the soundtrack from the movie and the anime as well.
Which means we'll get that really weird Stand By Me.
Yes, which I'm fine. I'm gonna have that on repeat. And then you
Put that on
also
skip.
the stuff from the deluxe edition, as I said. Then you get 4 extra in-game item packs, which I think is a camera thing for Prompto's camera. I don't know. I think they're gonna input some social media stuff into this, where if you take some really cool pictures, you can upload it to your Facebook as like a screenshot. I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do.
Sounds like Grand Theft Auto.
But they also have a bunch of different stuff with like weapons and all that, just item packs. And then you get an exclusive Noctis figure by PlayArts Kai. It's actually about yay tall.
Yeah, it's good size.
It's a really
It's a little
good
bit taller
size.
than the case, so yeah.
Yeah, it's about yay
Maybe
tall.
a little shorter, but yeah.
Yeah, it's about yay tall around this area somewhere.
Nice weapons.
Yeah, very good details. The joint stuff.
Yeah,
is
that's normal for those,
It's normal for those, definitely for the play arts. But I like the figure, and you get and this is it all comes in a nice, pretty huge box with the game, the Blu-ray of the of the CGI movie
and the anime,
including an exclusive 6th episode of the anime. So who knows what that's gonna be?
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, but I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be super, super cool. Fun little things. The demo when you play it, kind of keep in the back of your head it plays directly into the anime, because you'll find out some stuff in the anime that happened to Noctis that kind of explain why he's in that dream state.
Sounds like the story's getting
Kids messed up.
really complicated really fast.
Yep.
That's what it sounds exactly like.
They
Yes,
to,
Pop has.
We don't need another Kingdom Hearts story, okay?
to basically the reason why they did all this stuff,
Uh-huh.
To make
all
it
the
complicated.
anime, the movie, yes, to make money, but they wanted to avoid shipping the 15
Now,
deal as multiple games.
as a bonus, do you actually want to know what it was that made me decide to buy it?
That you didn't have to pay for it right then
No,
and there?
no, what even that?
What?
All the Final Fantasy music on the radio of the car whenever you want. I was like, oh, okay, that's actually kind of cool. I'm done.
Yeah,
I
you
did. That
can
was
just-
that was the
just
tipping
sold
point.
it.
Just
That
sit
sold
there
it
in
to
the
him.
car and
That
listen
was
to
it.
it.
Because
Yeah.
they started playing Final Fantasy 1. I was like, word?
Yeah. So a cool feature inside the
a
car
great
in the
bit of
game,
detail.
you can change the stations to play songs from your favorite Final
For the entire
Fantasy games,
series.
For the entire series. Nice little thing there.
I wonder if they're going to include any of the side ones for like
Okay.
tactics or anything.
And there's overlap, like I said, between the main game and Kingsglaive.
Yeah.
Fun little thing, Regis was actually redesigned entirely. The character, what he looked like, everything, because of the film. They had to redesign him. All of the kind of stuff that's in there, the cell phones, the camping gear, it kind of gives it a little bit more of a Western feel.
Right.
Which is good because then it'll make it more appealing to American and European audiences that may not exactly be into traditional RPGs or JRPGs, which is good. Keep in mind though, the tagline introduced initially in Versus 13, fantasy based on reality, is also really pertinent though, because it has Coleman camping gear. Coleman camping gear. Yeah.
10 years of development takes some money, so
Mm-hmm.
they had to buy out, get those rights for,
They said
Audi and
to-
Coleman and
Then this info that I'm giving you now is directly from an interview with Tabata that GameSpot did, which is probably how the release date got leaked because it happened before the Uncovered event.
Yeah.
They interviewed him 12 hours before, and then someone in the office probably was like, tee-hee, bop.
I'm just wondering how many other things are going to be sponsored or done by something. It's like you're going to go for the little camping at night to save your game, and it's like, tonight's campfire brought to you by Gatorade.
Oh my god. But they also said to get comfortable with Arania. That's that dragoon lady that we saw in the previous trailer that was released a couple months ago. She's going to be a character you run into often that might join your party or you'll stuff like
No
that.
Is she
idea. that is.
uncomfortable?
No, she's a dragoon. You guys are
Yeah.
familiar with the dragoon
To a point,
class.
but yeah.
Yeah, she's a dragoon. So
You
she's
say
saying
get comfortable. Like, is
she's-
she uncomfortable?
No, get comfortable with seeing her
Yeah.
because
Okay.
there's going to be a lot.
I'm not
of
familiar
her.
with the trailer, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure what went on in the trailer.
Yeah, she isn't going to be pushing major plot points except that I think that one introduction, but she's going to be
Right.
someone you run into over while you do all the side questing stuff.
I was about to say,
during the
she's
game,
probably straight up a
and
side
then-
quest.
Then after the game, so that kind of stuff. And then there's a partnership with this clothing line called Rowan. It looks
We
really
keep
cool
going.
clothes, but here's the thing: I can make these clothes for all of them, probably all of them for less than $100 each, and they're charging like thousands of dollars for them. So if you're really hardcore and insane and stuff like that, by all means get it. But I'm not going to be one of them. And another thing to note: Luna Freya, you will not be able to play as her in combat or even fight alongside her, which is interesting and probably disappointing. And then here's the most important news of it all, guys. Moogles are in the game, and they're totally adorable.
Well, hopefully.
They can never be more adorable than they were in
Yeah.
Crystal Chronicles because you could sit there and like cut the hair and make them weird colors
They're
and stuff.
they're really adorable.
Great.
They're really adorable. Like I wanna specifically note the last part of this interview, what he said. Tabata leaned conspiratorially over the table and with a straight, serious face said to whomever was interviewing him, "I wanted to give you a note that they are very cute. It isn't cheap or anything." And I was like, Tabata
Chocobos
what?
look nice.
Tabata what? And so yeah, I'm excited. I want to hear more about
And
it.
apparently you can leave the car. You don't have to use it.
Oh no, you don't have to use
'Cause
it.
I'm just going to go straight up Chocobo.
Yeah,
Just
you
install
don't
a
have
radio
to
in the
use
back of it. And then just,
Well, you can't. You can't. You can only listen to the radio in the car, Jeremy. I'm sorry.
I'll make it work.
Okay, so, but yeah, it's a kind of play as you want. I like it. So,
We shall see.
yep.
Indeed.
Nerd vocab.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
All right, nerd vocab for today is 4K. 4K resolution, also called 4K, refers to a display device or content having horizontal resolution on the order of 4,000 pixels. Several 4K resolutions exist in the fields of digital television and digital cinematography. In the movie projection industry, Digital Cinema Initiatives, or DCI, is the dominant 4K standard.
Hooray!
Yay.
Hooray, 4K!
Yay.
Who wants to talk about Shadow
Next
of
one.
Mordor 2? Yeah!
Yes. Shadow of Mordor 2, they finally released a CGI trailer, or they will be possibly doing one at E3. Reading ahead of myself. For this year. We all know Monolith Productions have been working for an unannounced project for almost 2 years, and it seems quite logical this will be Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor 2. But we haven't had any official announcement yet. Today we found a clue which made us believe the sequel of the critically acclaimed game is nearly to be announced. Famous stunt Lauren Mary Kim's curriculum vitae. I'm not even sure what that is.
Vitae. Curriculum
Vitae.
vitae is kind of like a resume, but you literally put every single thing that you've ever done. Every show you've been in, every paper you've written, every
I
publication.
made lunch yesterday.
It can be anywhere from 10 to 55 pages. So,
Nope.
yeah.
Nice.
Nope.
I've seen one. They're really hard to put together. You have to start on them as you do them.
Yeah.
So if you haven't started now, you're out of luck.
Yes,
I got
am.
one. We found Shadow of Mordor 2 in the last line of motion capture section. Kim is a stunt worker for a numerous AAA film project like Fast and Furious 7, Transformers 4, Suicide Squad, and Daredevil, the TV series. She also worked for various video game CGI trailers like Bioshock Infinite, Batman Arkham Knight, Assassin's Creed Unity, God of War Ascension, and the upcoming Mafia 3, and Shadow of Mordor 2, according to the listing. Looking at her physical aspect and stunt abilities, she could play the Lithariel role.
Interesting.
I haven't actually played the first one.
I haven't either.
Really?
It looks.
Just didn't have
Good.
time.
It's not very long. It didn't take me very long to actually beat it. So.
Maybe later.
I've got too much
Maybe
other
later.
stuff.
It's actually very nice. Very good.
I've heard very good things
The
about it.
Nemesis system is pretty cool.
Okay, so Hitman.
So I guess I'll go ahead. Not that I. So if you're excited at all about the Hitman series, the next episode will be taking place in Sapienza.
Sapienza.
It's probably
which is
in Italy.
some kind of weird foreign country, as revealed by one of the
More of a city.
It's probably a city.
briefest announcement teasers. The second second episode of the Hitman series will come out on April 26th, entitled Sapienza. It's named after a fictional town in the sunny south of Italy, in which the action takes place. A lovely,
Lovely place for holiday.
Didn't I just say it was in Italy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you
You
did.
can tell me the name.
Congratulations.
Well, just as long as you don't have a large man with a barcode tattooed to the back of his head trying to kill you.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
So that's where that will be. Agent 47 will basically go to Italy, and the picture I saw, he's wearing some kind of weird outfit with
yeah.
the sunglasses on there.
Well, here's the thing. Before they release that, they're actually going to roll out an update that is going to fix and improve the game in various ways, and then add a new community-inspired Vampire Magician Challenge Pack. I have no idea what that is. It's a disguise as a vampire magician as he takes out his targets. I'm just gonna go with that.
This Hitman has not been going
I'm just
well
gonna
so
go with
far,
that.
so this is gonna be weird.
So this patch goes out to consoles and the PC version. There's going to be specific. I don't even know. I'm
Hold on. So the costume to blend into the environment is a top hat, cape, and fangs.
Okay, so
We're done here.
okay, so there was a video of the new episode, and someone says, I can only hope that a full and proper trailer will be released when the second episode comes out, complete with 47 walking out of the sea like Honey Rider, seashells in hand, with a skimpy Speedo and an alligator strapped to his head. The inflatable alligator. Oh my god.
No.
They are going absolutely ham of both liking and making fun of these Hitman things.
Yeah, because you can do some weird things, but the games themselves so far have been pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Fallout 4
Yes.
has an overhauled survival mode that is now open for beta on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yay.
Steam users can test out an updated difficulty mode for the PC version that starts, I guess it started a day or two ago. To access the beta, Fallout 4 owners can click on their game in their libraries and then find the update under the settings option. Bethesda explains the download process and what the update includes on its community forum. Among the features added to the new survival difficulty level include a variety of challenges, and there's limited save options now. Players can now only save by sleeping.
Yep.
And then they have also disabled fast travel, increased lethality. Players both deal and take more damage, and then also fatigue. And there's also a new perk. It's called Adrenaline, which increases each kill and adds bonus damage to attacks.
And this will be coming out to consoles later this year as well.
So speaking of Steam,
Who's breaking the law?
Well, a
some
while
ways.
ago, we talked about this a couple shows back, right?
We referenced it that they might be in a legal issue with this because there was an article that detailed this kind of thing, saying that someone was, they were actually doing something that was quote unquote illegal in Australia. So now it's confirmed.
Yep.
Valve has been found guilty. And then that's when Rachel says,
Objection.
there you go.
No, I'm kidding.
Good Lord, I had this.
No, I'm not. I'm too excited.
You're excited about Valve?
No,
Getting in trouble?
no, I'm too distracted. But
I can see at this point, it's like you can either take this huge fine or make a third game. Immediately be like, we'll take the fine, please. There's only two of them who refuse to accept the third.
Okay, so they were breaking the law with their refund policy. Valve Corporation, the company behind the Steam PC distribution platform, was found guilty of breaking what's called the Australian consumer law due to Steam's lack of a refund policy, as ruled by the Australian Federal Court and reported by Kotaku Australia. So they did not have its current refund policy in place when the proceedings commenced in 2014.
Yep, but now that we do...
Involving allegations that Valve was in direct breach of the Australian law, which states it is a breach of the Australian consumer law for businesses to state that they do not give refunds under any circumstances, including for gifts and during sales. So, yeah, so they were breaking the law for a little while there for Australia, and then they were like, oh crap, we gotta fix this and do it, and let's give everyone it. And then Australia's like, nope, too late.
Guilty!
Yep.
I hereby found guilty under the laws of Australia. It's really weird. Australia's laws seems to be a little odd because I know that one of the YouTubers I'm subscribed to, he does reviews for certain animations and things like that, and he did a review on this one Australian show. And that Australian show has been bugging him and nagging him and stuff like. It's really.
Who knows?
It's something I've noticed. Australia, you're a bit law happy right now.
It's more like, okay, well, the place originated because it was, a prison continent, so that's what it was. They shipped all of England and Britain shipped off all their prisoners to the continent. And, there we go.
After they lost Georgia, they sent them to Australia.
But I can understand why. Maybe if you're the person you subscribe to had asked first, he might not have been bugged. But at least they're only bugging him and not doing legal stuff with him. So, but I can understand where they're coming from that, you should be able to get a refund if you really want a refund. You should. I mean,
it's not like they can't tell how long you've played it and what you've done with it. If you haven't played it and you just you played it for a very short time and didn't like it.
Yeah. I mean, there's probably got to be a grace period, and there is one, and you can't abuse it, just like you can't abuse the return policy at any store.
Yeah.
Like, for example, at any video game store, literally any video game store, if you do not return it within 7 days, or actually, if you return it within those 7 days, but the employees notice that you're just buying, returning, they give you an end to that. You cannot do this anymore. Sorry.
Or you could be like Dr. Goins and order clothes from online, try them on, and send them back.
Hey, that's perfectly legal for her to do. I'd do that because,
But I actually used the Steam refund policy once. I bought this game. I thought my PC would run it perfectly fine. For whatever reason, it did not, though, so I had to return it.
I mean, mine...
And it was actually a painless process.
I bought, the Vanishing of Ethan Carter. My computer doesn't run it too well, but once I get my new graphic thing, then I'll be fine. But... Yeah, but okay, so Netflix. This is interesting.
Yeah, I'm happy about this one. Netflix U.S. catalog has shrunk by more than 2,500 titles in less than 2.5 years.
That's a lot.
It's not your imagination. Netflix catalog is getting smaller. As competition in the streaming space has increased, Netflix once massive selection has decreased. In fact, it has shrunk by a third in less than 2.5 years. The statistics are simple and remarkable. In January of 2014, Netflix offered its U.S.-based users a selection of 6,494 movies and 1,609 TV shows for a total of 8,103 titles. As of March 23, 2016, they offered just 4,335 movies and 1,197 TV shows, 5,532 titles in total. That's a 2,571 fewer titles.
What's the cause of this is, because of all the other streaming services and licensure and rights to, put it out there and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But also because now it's not just a US-based application, so the licenses will be different for each country that you stream it in.
Yep.
So while we only have how many? We have 5,532 titles in the US. The UK might have a little bit less, a little bit more. It's going to vary a little bit for each country because licensure is important. They're only licensed to use or air or have accessible certain series in certain countries for
I know
a
they've
certain
lost
amount of
like all
time.
of BBC, which was really annoying because
Well, they haven't lost all
they're
of
losing
BBC,
all of it.
but they're losing specific stuff. And you know who acquired the rights for BBC? Amazon Instant.
Which I won't pay for, which means I'm no longer watching this. Because
Well,
I don't... Because in order to get Amazon Instant, you have to pay for Prime, which we don't order enough
gives you-
time to make Prime. It costs so much more.
I'm surprised, though, that you don't order enough. You don't order anything from Amazon?
No, just Kindle. That's it.
Well,
And even that gives no benefit at all.
Yes, it does. You get a bunch of free books as a Prime member. You get a ton of free books as a Prime member.
Yeah, she gets a bunch of them anyways. But the amount of money they cost,
Yeah.
it's kind of like pay this
Well, as
overly increasing large amount of money
as long as
to
you're-
not do
as
anything.
long as you're a student, you can be Student Prime, which is much cheaper.
Yeah, which is a month and a half.
Yeah. So, hey, if you get it now, you can have it for the
It's
whole year.
still almost $200,
No.
I think.
No.
That's what I was told when they went.
No,
Okay.
you need to look it up.
Yep. Let's see. In other words, Netflix catalog has shrunk 31.7% in less than 2.5 years. Breaking down the content by type doesn't really change the equation much, which we're not going to go through all the details of these.
That's basically what I just said.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it is what it is. That's the thing. And then
Rachel, what's going on in your neck of the woods? The Sony.
Sony.
I know you love Sony.
Well, their 4K capable PS4 could be announced ahead of the PSVR launch, which is understandable.
Hooray
because
for 4K!
Well,
Everyone loves it.
It's understandable because the 4K exists solely, mainly, and I mean, other than for entertainment, if your TV's 4K, I guess, for VR. Like, that's the whole point of it. The existence of the upgraded version of Sony's console was previously reported by Kotaku, but yesterday, the Wall Street Journal reported that the device is expected to be officially unveiled at the October slated for launch of PlayStation VR.
I don't see that going over well at all with a lot of people. Because, I mean, people, think about it, threw a fit with the new 3DS XL. After 4-something years of the system being out, they're like, okay, here's this version, and there's only been a handful of games that really benefit from it. It's not really a major thing. It's been about 2 years since the PS4 came out, and they're already like, oh, here's another one. buy this one.
4.5.
I'm not going to get it.
But a lot of people were wondering, and I know a few people were talking about, and that's part of the reason I watched it. They're like, with the whole thing with Final Fantasy, like, watch it, like, runs better on this system or something like that. Like, they have exclusive stuff for the 4K. What would you do then? Like, you bought this version, but you can't access this feature unless you have this.
Here's the thing, though. They haven't developed it for the 4K. They've developed it for the 4. Yes, it'll probably run better on the 4K. And I know a lot of people have said, oh, man, there's all these frame rate drops during the boss battles. And I'm just like, does that happen on your other games when a lot of stuff is going on the screen? Well, yeah. Then why are you being a little complainer about it here and not there?
Well, I mean, they
Because it's
complain
the
about then,
internet.
because if you have issues with some of the frame drops, I mean, that could be how they're designing it. But that's not really... That's a whole different thing.
Yeah, it's a whole different thing, but that could be something that doesn't occur as much with a better GPU or whatever. I don't know, but I'm just like, oh man, if it slows down a little bit when I'm landing a really good hit on a boss thing, man, that's like slow mo. That's an
But
added
eventually,
feature.
because one of the other ones that came out is there are developers making games specifically for they're rumored about making specifically for this hardware. And if you want to look at a situation where that could come out, look no further than like the Hyrule Warrior Legends that came out. You're having to play it on an old 3DS. I'm playing on a newer one, and it's night and day for how they run.
Yeah.
It does.
I-
It should
I-
not have been on the old one. And if they make a game for that,
You've also got to consider for developers, is it monetarily beneficial for them to do that, considering that it's only been 2 years that the PS4 has come out, and it runs well. It has some good capabilities, a lot of capabilities that people haven't even tapped into yet.
Yeah, well, they've tapped a lot of it for
Yeah.
what they've done. That's the thing. But I mean, if you've got games that are coming out like this, how do you feel about that though? Like, you bought your PS4, well, you better buy this one if you're going to want to actually play this game or have these major features or parts of it.
Well, the game that I want to, the 3 games that are coming out this year are not developed for the 4K. It's already said and done.
I know, but I mean,
So-
that could still. I'm just saying that's kind of dodging the question though.
Well, that's
mean-
my answer. That's the only answer that I can give you.
So if you got
because-
no more good games on your PS4, you'd be fine with it. Even if they started moving to a 4K, you'd be like, well, I've got this game, I'm good for good.
Well, I'm good for right at this moment. Maybe down the road, but until they release a price of what it is and whether or not it's worth it, and depending on what other developers say and what is coming out,
Yeah.
because I buy a game system on what I'm gonna play on it. If there's nothing coming out for the 4K that interests me out of the gate, I'm not gonna get it. It's
Yeah.
not monetarily good. Now, hey, if someone wants to give me a 4K, by all means, yes. If I come into a huge amount of money between now and, well, whenever it comes out, why not? I'll get it. But it's not. My thing is the cost of it worth it? First off, and what's on it. That should be really the only questions.
Yeah, but I mean, over time,
Yeah.
like I said, once back to the.
Like I
the
haven't
new-
bought a new 3DS yet because I haven't had a reason to.
But that cuts you out from a couple of the games, cuts you out from like the Super Nintendo Virtual Console and some of the stuff that
But
they're
I'm
adding
not
to it.
interested in any of those.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, cool.
You complained about it. I remember you were saying they shouldn't have had the Super Nintendo on there and not on the old one.
Well,
But that new hardware required it, so that was something you wanted
Yeah,
you
but
couldn't get
I didn't
because it
want it at
required
the
new
time,
hardware.
but then I looked at what was available for the Super Nintendo thing, and I'm just like, so.
Super Metroid and Link to the Past. Woo.
Yay.
Those
So-
are good games.
Oh, I'm sure they are, but I play games I'm interested in, and a lot of games that I play, not many other people are interested in. So.
You're
That's
such a
just my
hipster,
thing.
Rachel. Jeez.
No, I'm sorry. That's just how I am. Like, everyone's like, well, why don't you play this? Why don't you play these first-person shooters? And I'm like, because I think they're stupid?
Yeah.
Oh, I just saw that on television. Yes.
Well, I mean,
Yes,
the Final
do it.
Fantasy
No.
games might be coming out on it as well.
Yeah, well,
The only
that's
not
another thing,
stupid
too.
That's down
first-person
the road.
shooters are the Metroid
Earthbound's
Prime
on it
series.
too, which is a good
That's
one.
what I'm saying.
Well,
It's a
that's-
really good one.
like I said, that's down the road.
All right.
Okay.
Last bit of news here. Very nice bit of news, actually. So the first Cyborg Olympics will be taking place in October. So while the Olympics and Paralympics are against its competitors using technological and motorized enhancement, the upcoming Cyborg Olympics is doing the opposite and encouraging people with disabilities to use it. Officially known as the Cybathlon, which is a weird name. Sounds like a
Someone
monster.
got creative.
Sounds like a monster you'd have like in Metroid or Monster Hunter or something like that. It's like, oh, it's the Cybathlon.
This just came up in a game of Scrabble. I swear it's a real word. Just use it. Allow it. Give me my double score.
The event won't place a emphasis on amazing physical feats like completing the high jump or the 400 meter. Could you imagine though, just having somebody with cyborg legs and being like a frog just boing? I don't know.
That much force to
But
break
will
your
instead
spine.
focus on smaller, seemingly mundane tasks like climbing stairs or slicing loaves of bread.
That's actually incredibly important for those kind of smaller, minute controls.
Mm-hmm.
That takes a lot.
So Robert Rayner, the event's organizer and a professor at the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology in Zurich, Switzerland, told IEEE Spectrum the Cybathlon is less about force and speed and more about control of the body and the device,
Mhm.
like you said. So that's pretty nice.
And just the
Pretty
simple
cool.
act of us flipping this page would be a huge feat to
Oh.
get, where you could just be able to do that.
Okay,
And that's a
so-
Monday thing we don't even think about.
Going back to the Mutomo thing, apparently, I don't know what phone he has, but a friend of mine, it's not supported on his phone. So obviously
Huh.
he doesn't have an
You
iOS.
cannot use it on rooted devices. That's the thing. It cannot be a rooted device. Because I know that came up with some people.
I'll ask,
Rooted?
is your device
You
rooted?
mean like in
Yeah.
the ground, or do you mean like a route?
Yes,
Like-
plant it like a tree. I'm just
Okay.
going to leave it like there. They should live with that knowledge.
Is your device rooted?
Because I know...
Well, that's, I mean,
I'm just going by what Kyle
That
said. I know he
sucks.
had mentioned that like he had an older phone and it ran really well on it. It's worked well on my son's phone, my old tablet,
has
my
anyone
phone.
tried on a Windows phone?
It's right now the app is only on Android and iPhone.
Okay, so then it doesn't work on a Windows phone.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, it's not available.
yeah.
So
That's just saying. Just for the Android ones that don't run,
right.
it's not going to be on there at all. And then they're doing some of the stuff for tablets and PC and things like that as well. But right now it's just Android and iPhone.
But yeah.
So,
Yep.
So
now
that's
comes our favorite part of the show, where we shamelessly promote ourselves. Jeremy, go ahead.
you can find me at Zenspath on Twitter. Also, twitch.tv/Zenspath.
Where you can hear him not speak.
Yeah, all you hear is this horribly loud, weird. It was terrible. I'll show you in a little bit, and it was just bad. I'm gonna get it fixed, I swear. But it was 45 minutes of me playing this beautiful demo. Just turn the volume down.
It's really pretty.
Yeah, ignore my mouth in all sound and just watch it.
I think my favorite part is the the kind of destructible environments when you were.
I just straight up hit it with a truck.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, so you're in this room.
Oh, and the other part,
Yeah.
turning into a winged alligator and just biting everything.
Yes, that was wonderful. I
the
turned
world?
into a giraffe.
I'll show you.
I turned into a giraffe.
You can keep going back.
Yeah.
There's a whole,
Yeah.
at least
So,
2 animals.
It was very interesting, though.
So weird.
The controls as the animals was not as precise as I would have liked.
Yeah,
but
see,
you
I
were
made
also
great jokes
animals.
about that, but
Sounds
obviously you
like
can't hear
Goat
it.
Yeah,
Simulator.
you were also, but you were
You had
also
a bad
really,
turning radius.
Yeah, you were giant animals in a really tiny closed space.
Yeah.
So that was poor thing on their part. But my favorite thing was when you were in the room and you were tiny and small. That would have been a good place to be an animal because it was a big room.
Yeah, there's a little hidden things in that room too. I've been going around exploring.
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, and
I did see that though.
And but my favorite thing was knocking down the huge block tower and just going. And
And then realizing you needed to get to something, and I was like, oh,
yeah,
because you can't rebuild it. Anyways, what you got?
yeah. So
Just start stuff.
you can find us on Facebook, which is on the Nerd Edification Hour. Just look us up, and you can find all of our other details and links to YouTube there. Yeah, and Twitter too. I think our link is up there as well.
And the YouTube is Strangely Entertaining. That's capital S, capital E. That is one word, not 2 words. I upload gameplay videos and the show there too. Sometimes a vlog, update video. And then you can follow us at Nerd Edification. I almost forgot it for a second
Twitter.
there. On Twitter. On the
Yeah.
Twitter. I feel like I'm missing something.
The YouTube.
And if you'd
To
like,
Twitch.
yeah.
Strange Entertaining, same thing as the YouTube.tv.
And if you'd like to find me on Twitch, I haven't been on there in a hot minute, but it's twitch.tv/outrageous. That's capital OUT, capital RACHEOUS.
I'm waiting for my internet to be upgraded so I can stream it more efficiently.
All I know is that my internet is somehow running faster now. Don't ask me how, but it is.
Did you do the speed test?
No.
You should. Do that.
But it is, very much so. Because what normally would have downloaded in about an hour, downloaded in 20 minutes last night. So I'm not sure what's happening.
Fun.
Funny little side note. That's actually one of the developers from Act Studios.
Awesome.
Oh, I'm gonna tell them.
But yeah, you can find me there, and probably when 15 comes out, I'll probably be streaming that and simultaneously screaming, crying.
We won't
all
see
at
her
once.
for days.
Nope, I will be holed up
We
in my
won't
house.
even hear from her on Facebook.
Probably not, unless it's me reacting to something or commentating on something.
I'll actually have time to play a game and won't know what to do with myself.
Well, that'll be it here. Thank you for joining us. And until next time, stay fancy.
Bye.
Peace.